Hello, everyone. We are live and we are back. We were here last week, but we weren't going to play the game. So we're going to play the game here today. So hopefully everybody's doing well out there in internet land. And the only announcements we try and do on our live shows is if you need to catch up, then go catch up. Go to timetotabletop.com and it can link you to wherever you need to go. But you could also just Facebook's hard to find it, but they're there. But if you want to go to youtube.com/timetotabletop, you can find the collection there and you can see the series there. And also on twitch.tv/timetotabletop, you can find our collection of our Savage Trippers of the previous episodes. So, we're going to see what we can do here. I just, like right before we went live, everyone, my dice went underneath the desk. We all forgot our dice. We're all running around like goofballs. Well, not all of us. Mostly me.
Oh, yeah. We need dice for this.
Mostly me. It was me. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. We're into chapter 4 of the story. It's episode 5, but it's chapter 4 for today. And we were going to start off with a little recap. I think Marvin was up for the challenge this time, since our very last episode had a lot to do with his character. So,
all right.
Go ahead.
All right. So I got a written recap here from Michelle, and hopefully I can remember everything. So, last episode, our heroes traveled through a wormhole at random and ended up at the planet Polulate. Or Polulate. I'm not too sure how it's pronounced myself. But they landed on the planet in a place called the Kingdom of Vegetonia. There our heroes met two intrepid adventurers. There's brave Nova and noble Sir Carrington. And Sir Carrington was a knight of House Starch, the house that they landed in. And right now, who was missing their Lord Starch. The heroes agreed to help Sir Carrington find his lord, while Nova was an interpreter. Since no one actually spoke the same language. But I think everyone used these devices called, what were they, halos? Yeah, halos, to help everyone communicate. Now that they knew what each other was saying, and Sir Carrington knew that the new people he met weren't fruits, they traveled to a tavern on the outskirts of House Starch in the investigation to find Lord Starch. But after drinking some of the local root beer, whose origins will not be named, you don't want to know where those roots came from, they learned that Lord Starch was carried off by the dreaded Orange Warlocks. Hot on the trail, our adventurers found these dastardly warlocks with their prisoner, Lord Starch. After they were taken care of with post-haste, once again, the ship that brought them to the planet Polulate was about to set off once again. And Sir Carrington could not accompany them. And I'm not too sure where Nova is at the moment. She's still in Polulate.
Unknown.
It's unknown where she went. She went to parts unknown. But, getting back, Lord Carrington was made... Well, Sir Carrington was made Lord Carrington by Lord Starch, as Lord Starch had some mysterious... Yes, I don't know. He had something mysterious going on, and he disappeared after everyone else rode into the wormhole, leaving Sir Carrington to take care of the starch lands of Vegetonia.
And that's how we, there was it was a good trip.
I have no idea what I just said, and I regret nothing.
Yeah, we'll find out if we get
Join us next time.
if we get sued or something. What did I just say? Who am I? Where is this? Great recap. Thank you, sir. So yes, we had some good times in the Vegetonian Kingdom. Now it's a year later, as we spoke of last week. We did discuss that we're jumping up ahead about a year. So we'll go ahead and get into where we're kind of sitting right now. And so with thoughts of home, the makeshift crew of the Howlcraft attempt to create some sort of comfort in their surroundings. With each stop, they try to make this tin box an actual ship. A message from Jace states that the way back is through the jump portal in Solar System 8. It's a decently long journey, so they try to make it as comfortable as possible. So this is where I would like to, because we discussed on our recap, if you guys want to come up with maybe what specifically, not too specific if you don't want to, what you're doing with your quarters, what we've done with the ship, because I know that we've done, everybody kind of has their quarters, and you can, if you want to go over and talk about your quarters or talk about what you want to do with the ship, or name the ship, or do anything to that forward, or have a conversation, what would you guys be doing at this moment? On the spot.
I was
Brucon has
waiting.
been spending.
Go ahead.
Brucon's been spending quite a bit of time on the ship, so quickly realizing that he's not, that there doesn't seem to be any motion or plan to reunite any of us with our original planets or homelands or whatever. We kind of have no choice but to make ourselves comfortable. So Brucon is firstly tidying up and trying to make his little corner of the ship as much like home as possible, which is difficult given the rather high-end state of quarters he is used to, given his position as assistant finance minister of their kingdom. But he makes do with what he can, tries to scavenge some things from the ship that at least give the presentation of style and class, even though I'm not sure if there's any windows looking out, but perhaps just creating a fake window with some drapes or something, and make something that maybe once upon a time could have been a fireplace or something like that. And just basically trying to thrift upscale his dwelling.
And as you're putting all those things together and the drapes in there, and making your home for over the last year the best you can, and everybody is searching for their way back home. They're doing the best they can, and that's why they kind of got a message from Jace, is doing some research outside and got a message to you guys about a jump portal. But Hal's still there. Hal is still part of the ship, pretty much the ship. And Hal comes on the speaker as you're doing those. Brucon, would you like me to scan for more dusters and disinfectant?
Yes, Hal, that would be wonderful.
And it's been happening over the last year, like all the things that you feel like you need, he's making sure that Hal is making sure that every planet that you go by scans for the stuff that you guys want.
Excellent.
Anybody else want to talk about their quarters? Yes, no?
Go.
Yeah, go for it.
We're all too polite.
I know, it's like,
We're all too polite.
step in there and say, screw you guys, I'm saying something.
Right, screw you guys. I'm saying something.
That's
Says the
A
Lord.
bowling alley and a pool table.
that's how we get. That's our talking
Yes.
stick. Screw you guys. I'm saying something.
Well, yeah, Lord Carrington. How exactly did he find himself on the ship?
I'm certain we convinced you to come back with us, seeing as how you're proved to be an asset
Yes.
situations and time of need. So
And as I said during the recap episode, found out that our intrepid eggplant wizard, who served as the court wizard of House Starch, did not in fact die. He, unfortunately, he has discovered the ancient and most evil practice of lichdom, which is also called being pickled on my planet. Yes. It would be kind of funny if he didn't threaten my kingdom. But I believe that's how I found myself on the ship. I knew the rest of you had technologies way beyond my planet. So I figured, hey, why not get my new friends to help me take care of this lich? But then I remembered you don't actually control where your ship actually lands. And now I am stuck aboard the ship, going to where the green gods do not know. Got to say, I wish I had thought about this sooner.
Oh,
But oh
is
well, at
Lord
least...
Carrington, is
Too
Lord
late.
Carrington his original carrot self on the ship, or
Yep, he's as small
is-
as a normal carrot.
okay?
So instead of a room, probably just had him set up on top of a shelf somewhere with a pot full of dirt, so he can at least sleep.
Or the CRISPR bin.
Yes, that'll work.
Just the light
Honestly,
keep going out.
honestly, I don't exactly trust myself walking aboard the ship. Everything is just so giant. Huh. Could I ride upon one of your shoulders, maybe? How about you, Burgon? Come on, we have to live aboard the
long
ship anyways.
pause.
So,
I would be honored to, Lord Carrington.
Thank you, Burgon. Lord Carrington just jumps upon your shoulder. You can imagine just having a little carrot riding up on you.
oh,
Oh,
no.
and somehow he brought his steed with him. I forgot about the steed. An aphid called Sydney.
We'll definitely need a separate stable for that
Mhm.
thing.
It's next to the pot of dirt, so it should be fine. It's made with like popsicle sticks. It would work.
Probably the largest aphid I've ever seen.
It's very large. And just a normal
Yeah.
sized carrot.
Yes, from what I've learned from your planets, aphids are normally not this big. And carrots don't talk at all. Maybe they're just mute.
I know, all I can imagine is a cat and a carrot enter a ship. That's our next spin-off series. So,
Sounds like a good title.
yeah. So as you're there, you still have Hal. You have not met Hal, and over the last year, I mean, you just joined the ship. Everybody else is kind of going back and forth for the last year. You just joined the ship within the last month. So Hal is trying to cater to you as best he can. Carrington,
Ah, demon! Oh.
I go by Hal. If it makes you more comfortable to call me Demon, I will accept.
Forgive me. I'm still getting used to that voice. Where exactly are you coming from?
I am here for you.
That does not make me any more comfortable than I was previously.
Would you like me to scan for more dirt?
Honestly, a bit of dirt from home would make me more comfortable. But I'm already scuffing up Rukon's shoulder, so we'll have to wait.
And what?
No, just wiping a bit of dirt off your shoulder. Pay no mind, Rukon. There you go.
These things happen.
What did he get himself into?
I'm like, this is not a good match.
This is the one person who would not want dirt on him. Or one cat.
Hey, Brucon, you want to play hide the carrot?
Oh no.
I beg your pardon?
I'm talking about Lord Carrington.
Hide the carrot. What kind of game is
Never
this?
mind. Never mind.
Oh, well. Hide the carrot. What does that even mean? I'm visible to everyone. I don't hide. I'm a lord.
So the temperature control, you
Apologies,
guys
Lord.
have found a way to do more temperature control per being. So as the non-human or non-carbon based like Switch and T4 Cold, it's not really relevant. But when it comes to Brucon and Carrington, of course, there's a humidity that Carrington needs and a certain amount of daylight or mock daylight needs, and same with like temperature control. It's getting to where you guys, like you were talking about, if there's windows. By now, you've been on there the longest, Brucon, so it's pretty easy. By now, you have found some way to put a window to see outside of the ship from your quarters. If that's important to you, then you've been there a year. So the small little places that you hop towards trying to find a way back to your home, you're kind of finding, oh, I can weld in with the talents of Switch and T4 Coal pretty easily. Anybody else in their quarters? Anybody else talk about their quarters? Just you guys got charging stations.
You want me to go? I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Switch has a charging station for sure. I envision it more of a pod with wires. Envision, think about when you have to get an MRI. Very close, tight quarters with one single plug that plugs into the back of their head. But very, very sort of claustrophobic to most people. But that is the type of space that they would want to be in when they weren't out in the ship helping navigate. Out of character, could you tell me again where Jace said we were, or where we were navigating to?
Well, you're headed towards, you're in search of a jump portal.
Jump portal.
That
Okay.
way you can go quicker and further.
Yeah.
And it's inside of, all he found in his books was Solar System 8
Okay.
is where it's at. So you're headed towards Solar System 8 in your in the galaxy there. And the ship that you're on, the Halcraft, I just called it Halcraft, but you guys can name it whatever you want. But Hal is going to call it the Halcraft. It goes faster than it did before, but it doesn't really have like any sort of hyper speed or warp speed or anything to that effect.
And Jace is not here anymore?
Jace is not on the ship, but did find a way
ship.
to send you a message
Okay.
that went through a relay of one of the planets that you guys were on over the last year. You did get some information.
So Jace is not here, but Doll is technically here.
Doll is not on the ship.
Doll is not here either.
Nope,
Okay.
it's
so
only you.
They're gone.
You four.
Okay, just us. Okay.
Yeah, there's been some, like over the year, some people have decided to stay on certain planets or do something a little different to try and find a way home. You four are, at least you three, Carrington's kind of joining around for the ride because he wants to figure out this technology so he can find out this about the pickled wizard.
Okay.
And also, I'm stuck here for the foreseeable future.
Well, it's a little bit less cat hair that we have to clean up after now. So there's that.
Huh. The furred menace isn't here.
Only one of them.
There were two.
Yeah, Brucon's a cat also. So
He's just less. He's less menace.
he's just a little more
Very polite.
prim and proper.
Wait a second. Is there like a little fur hair I could pluck off of Brucon?
Uh-oh.
Well, probably not where you're sitting. I'm wearing a jacket.
He seems all right. Never once expected him of being one of those furred creatures.
T4?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, all right, if you have...
I was gonna say, just in summation, like, Switch is totally along for the ride. Like, adventure, cool. We're going somewhere else. Don't care. In a small pod, feel super safe with T4, because I know him, and Brucon, because now I know. I mean, we've been together for a year now, but like, totally cool along for the ride.
Yeah, over the last year, you three have gotten into arguments. You've saved each other's lives. You've hated each other. You've loved each other. You know, you've had like that close quarters roommate feeling for the last year. Like, some days I hate you, some days you're the best thing ever. But still is a matter of trust. Nobody has any. You haven't. At least you haven't experienced anybody coming at you with ill regard to that point. They've pissed you off for sure. Everybody's pissed each other off at one time or another. But now that Carrington's back on here, that's a whole new experience.
Carrington adds a level of humor that I don't think any of the three of us have.
I do think there's a constant running banter between Brucon and Carrington about whether or not the dirt is still in the pot or if it's made its way out of the pot.
Oh, I can answer that right now, Brucon. It's always upon my person.
Is it in your pockets or?
Armor doesn't have pockets.
Don't know what armor you're wearing, but mine certainly does.
You should really try pockets.
Hmm.
So they're the cat's pajamas.
I
you go.
guess so. I've always had to have things carried for me, being a knight and then a lord.
We don't have ranks on Hal. There's no ranks.
Well, more importantly, there's no help.
That will make things difficult. Though I'm not exactly sure I can carry anything of yours. I can most certainly try if you need me to. But it not be said that Lord Carrington cannot carry his own weight.
Well, we
might
can
have-
all certainly carry.
I was like, trying to think of how much you would weigh.
I think
20
we would have booted.
grams, maybe.
At most.
I think we would have booted you, or you're not helpful at this point. So I think we're past that point.
Well, when it comes to his understanding of growing things, you three, that's not your specialty at all. Switch and T4 Cole never had to grow anything. They could just
We don't eat.
just build stuff. You don't need.
I mean, Cole at one point did, but no longer does.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. And then Brucon never needed to. It was could pay for it, pay for somebody to do it, or coerce them into being a servant without pay, kind of thing. So Carrington's knowledge of growing earth, food, those things. So over the years, as creatures that need food, like cat creatures and other things that you've come across, there is actually like a garden that can be tended to. Now, I think from what I would understand Carrington would probably grow mostly fruit for you to eat because he probably doesn't want to eat vegetables. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, so long as they're not sentient, from what I assume. Switch and cold don't eat, as they say. Well, as I see. I'm not too sure what Brucon would like. Grow fruits and let them eat them. It's no less than they deserve.
Let them have fruit, Carrington.
Fruits are fine. Meeting Brucon's protein needs might be more the challenge.
Very, very
So
true.
unless you have, if he's if he's been plagued by small little rodents, I'd be happy to
Well-
assist in the eradicating of that problem.
Do we have rodents aboard the ship?
Not anymore.
Would you like me to scan the next planet for rodents?
Well, if we're going to need a protein supply, I don't really know why we shouldn't.
Rodents, it is.
You hear that, Brucon? We're having rodents for dinner.
So over the last year, all Hal has done for you guys is try and fulfill shopping lists. Doesn't always work out the best. Some of the stuff that does come through is the best that could be found in that area or in that system that they're traveling through. And those are where kind of your adventures, wherever the adventures end up going, Hal is shopping. That's pretty much what the ship does. Now, the ship can only scan, so you guys have to go pick up these things on your own. But that's how, and you're getting a little bit more in control of the ship, especially T4 Cole and Switch. A little bit more understanding of how the ship works. You're not really understanding why you're going in certain directions, but you did find a way to where the two missions coincided in the sense of going to Solar System 8.
I think we lost you, Scooter.
Oh,
Yeah, we lost you.
no, completely?
You're good. You're good now.
You're back.
Okay.
Right now, you just in mid sentence just went from
It went
you
fuzzed.
to nothing to static.
That's awesome.
And you're back.
And I'm back.
Angered the gods.
I know. Well, I know. I think I ticked him off here. But that's what Hal is doing, is mostly a shopping list and the information you got from Jace to go to Solar System 8.
Solar System 8? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that coincides with Hal and the programming in the ship. So that's why the ship decided, you guys tried to coerce it to go there, and it basically just agreed with you. So it was a destination that was already programmed in the system.
I know we have yet to hear from T4 Cole about his quarters,
Yes.
but did Jace, if I get my one question to Hal, it would be why are we going to Solar System 8?
To seek the jump portal.
Where
That was the
are we
information.
jumping?
You're
was
trying to
it?
get home. That's
Okay.
what you guys, that's your
That's
guys'
it. That's all we know.
That's what you guys are going there for.
Okay.
Put it that way.
Copy that.
How it comes out, but it is a jump portal that's in the Solar System 8. That's the
Okay.
information you got from Jace. And you're like, crap, that's a way to get home, not be stranded. So not
if-
all of
if
you are
we're,
into that, but sorry.
Oh yeah, that's kind of where I was going. If let's say all of us are successful in getting back to our origin or whatever, where does that leave Sir Carrington?
Stuck.
Stuck on a ship with Hal, but can he still continue his search for anti-pickle magic?
I thought I put some of that in the flask from the Ada's ales. Maybe we haven't. We don't even know it. No? Okay.
That would be something to discover, Brucon and Carrington. What is this jump portal even? What is it? Nobody even knows what it is, realistically.
Just some strange otherworldly magic. That's all I can explain. It's
Most
not
of this
fruit
ship
in
is
origin.
magic to you, yes.
It's not fruit in origin, so I trust it. But that trust only goes so far.
And
You've
how
had a real
is...
falling out with fruit, haven't you?
Hmm?
You've had a real falling out with fruit.
We've been at war with the fruits for centuries. They and vegetable kind have never gotten along. Surprisingly, house starch themselves aren't vegetables. They're starch,
So,
but they've been so closely aligned with the vegetable kingdom that we just hate fruits on principle.
so are tomatoes like Switzerland?
They're
Or-
traitors. Oh, this time they led us to believe they were vegetables when in truth they were fruits.
E4, I don't know about you, but
Disguises.
I'm really glad I don't eat.
You know, every more and more, I'm really glad I made this transition, not by choice, but I'm glad I don't eat either.
But my friends, you've cut out such an enormous source of joy. One of the greatest experiences you can have is just the most delicious meal that transcends emotion. I pity you.
I mean,
Have you ever jacked in? Same thing.
yeah, essentially.
Only by myself.
That's enough.
Oh, you mean something else?
What is all this jacking that you are talking about?
Oh. Did I lose everybody? I lost everybody.
Uh-oh. We froze. We're
Everyone's
back.
Okay.
We were talking about jacking.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
So I understand.
Who is it?
I think it was me for a second, but I think I'm okay now.
Scooter, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I
Okay.
think everyone's still here.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
here.
cool. It's like everybody froze for a second. I couldn't tell whose internet it was or whose
I
Zoom
should
it
probably
was.
stop talking about jacking.
The universe is telling you,
Yeah,
stop
we're getting modded.
jacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have a plug in the back of your neck, Lord Carrington? Like,
A plug?
yeah. And Switch will walk over and reveal the plug in the back of their neck.
No, the only things in the back of my neck are the
Well, you could see mine. Right.
latches. Latches that connect my helmet to the rest of
Rukon
my
has
armor.
one, right? So,
Rukon
I
has
mean,
one,
if
yeah.
you're on
I
my
don't know.
shoulder, I can just... It's part of the technology that was used to abduct us.
Huh. And Carrington just puts his finger on your jack.
I can't feel it, so...
Huh. Strange. You all have this?
I forgot if T4 has one or not.
I technically
frankly.
don't, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Since I think both T4 is an older model. In addition, T4 was not initially abducted. With those of you that were brought here not by choice, I believe that T4 probably has like a kind of like a much more archaic form of like a charging station that he's kind of fabricated over the time to recharge in his room. That he kind of steps into, similar to the pod, but I think it's just more like upright, and he just steps into it, and the things that need to plug into him to charge like automatically swing down, and that's how he recharges. So
That sounds cool.
And this is how your quarters would be set up also. Would be there. So, do you want to talk about anything about your quarters, T4, or you just...
Yeah, speaking of T4.
maybe. Hold on. I'm just trying to see if this is any better audio-wise. Just my levels. Is it better? Is that worse?
I think it's about the same.
Okay. Is this any better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
this too much better, or is it good enough?
No.
No,
Okay.
it is
Oh, we
fine.
like hearing you.
Cool. No, but I think he would. His room probably has that station in the far corner, of like where his room is. Otherwise, it's probably pretty spacious. It's probably got a terminal just kind of mounted to the wall, and then I'd say a place where he can like take out and store his katana not on himself. And outside of that, I think during the year that they've been traveling together, I think T4 would have probably tried to data mine as much as he could off of Hal, about how to fly the ship, how to like what Bit was talking about way early on, and what that meant, and what Hal's relation to Bit is. Trying to see what he can gather from the technological side of things. So.
It sounds like something you would do.
Yeah, and over the year you found, I mean, HAL is not a very intricate program per se. It's more of a just. It's kind of like having, what would you say, the BIOS. It's the base level. There's nothing fancy about it. But I think over the year, you may have found ways to tweak that up a little bit, or put some coding in there, so that HAL might have. It hasn't worked yet, but to where HAL might have a personality of some sort, but that it hasn't quite caught on yet.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, piloting the ship is definitely a lot easier, especially once you're in a planetary gravitational pull. You can kind of plop around inside of there. Where you go in the solar system stuff is not really much of your decision, because it's still an automated ship. But once it's on a planet, you can kind of move it from place to place on a planet. That's pretty standard procedure. But intergalactic travel, you can't find a way to tell it to go in a certain direction. It decides kind of for you. But this time was the first time that kind of your choices aligned. Like you went to go to kind of find Solar System 8, and it was like, yes, that's a destination. That's good. Hal said, yes, Solar System 8. And that's where you're currently headed.
So we have a little bit of give and take now with
a little bit.
our
It's getting
chapter.
more and more as you travel. And as T4 and you kind of find ways to jack into it, and then get a little bit more information as you go. And as the ship is kind of going through the Solar System 8, you finally kind of arrived in the solar system. That's pretty much all the information you got, and you can't just directly communicate with Jace because you don't know the location of Jace right now. You just got a transmission that was meant for you during one of your jumps, one of your flights. And as you're going into, you're only been in there for about an hour or two, kind of trying to get the lay of the land, and Hal is scanning, and every once in a while you'll hear him and goes, Hal is scanning. And it gets really annoying. It's repetitive. Hal is scanning. And trying to get the layout of this solar system, when the power flickers in your ship. And it's almost like I'd say, Brucon, we're probably looking out that awesome window that you've created and going, whoa, this is pretty nice. Carrington's, it's kind of one of those downtimes. You guys are probably processing data, T4, especially with Hal plugged in, it's really mundane. It's the mundane time of the trip. Carrington is trying to decide on, it's just kind of in a loop. And then Switch, you'd be doing probably in your quarters trying to do that. But Brucon, the stars, when the power flickers, you will notice that everything outside disappears and then reappears. No stars, just really deep, dark, like mud is all you can see. Everybody else just noticed that the power flickered, but the only creature, only person that saw it was Brucon would see that when it flickered, the stars disappeared and then replaced with nothing but mud, like a thick, dark, almost black muck.
Would the
Like, so when you say mud, you mean like actual mud, or just
That-
like the color?
No, it's oozing. It's like you could see it's like kind of moving.
Like right over the window?
Oh, covered. You
or-
can't see anything outside the window but that.
Okay, so it's not like there's space, like a gap, and then a
Nope.
sheet of mud.
No,
but
it's
literally
on. Yeah, it's on the glass.
like the ship
or whatever.
would be covered with mud.
Correct.
Okay.
What would you like to do
Okay.
with that information?
So the lights flicker and they're on now, and it looks like stars. Like again, correct?
Nope.
Oh, so when the lights flickered, the stars went away permanently.
Yep. All you see is the muck.
It, yeah. Leave my room and go look for some of the others. And ask, because my window is not the only window, is there? Is it?
No.
Yeah, there are others.
Yeah, there are others. Whatever other ones
Look
are
for other
covered with the
windows.
same muck.
Okay. All right. I guess a quick question I would have is, when
Yeah, I'll point it out
power-
to whoever I find.
when the power surges, is there a like, does that trip any resets for like HAL or the computer system as a whole?
No, not necessarily. It's more of like it wasn't enough to turn something off and on. It was enough to it was like that brown, they call it brown out kind of thing. It just kind of dips back and then comes back.
Well, I think Cole will be still just crunching numbers with HAL to figure out where we're going.
Hal is scanning.
Switch would ask, Hal, why did you stop playing my music for a second there?
We have arrived at planet Helixia.
Planet Alexia.
Hal
Was
is
this on
scanning.
this? Was Alexia on the schedule?
Schedule. Helixia. We are on planet Helixia. Hal is scanning.
What are you scanning
So-
for, Hal?
I am scanning the planet Helixia.
Well, Switch will come out into the main room from their quarters. Well, I guess we're at Alexia. Does anyone know what that is? Or why we're here?
Information acquired. Helixia is a naturally lush and humid planet that was previously filled with dense jungles. After emerging as the planet's dominant life form, the Helexians began to terraform their environment, raising the natural forest to make room for farmland. The planet is now dominated by highly developed cities and massive sprawling fields of harvestable cropland. End of scan.
Wait.
Hal, what would you say is their level of technology here?
Moderate to high.
And you said they tore down the jungle.
That's the history of my scanning.
The barbarians.
Easy, Tiger.
But with going and looking through windows and trying to open up hatches, yes, your ship is submerged in mud. Not all the way to the top, but the top is barely just creeping out like in a very large swampland. So it's very, very big swampland, part of
So we landed
Helixia.
on this planet and didn't realize it.
It happened that quickly and that, like, with that little impact, except for a power surge.
It's like you disappeared and reappeared.
Like we hit a cloud. Yeah.
Can really be teleported.
Would any attempt to open the door? So we're submerged. Would any attempt to open the door mean mud would seep in?
Yeah, you couldn't open
I
up any
intuitively
side
know
doors,
that.
but you would have like the top hatch. You'd be able to get out through there because it's not like under the mud. It's because it's a very large. I mean, you're in a ship, right?
Yeah.
So it's in a swampland. So the height of the ship is higher than the mud, but just enough to maybe there's a couple feet above the mud, so the top you could get out through the hatch.
Well, I think we should go for a look-see. What do you think?
I believe that would be the right course of action. We can't very well do anything
Yeah, I
else.
agree. Hal, do you know where we are? As far as location on the planet?
Scanning. With your current trajectory and capability of travel, a day's walk from the city of Strand.
Does the planet or the city mean anything to me in
No.
particular?
Probably a question I can also ask.
Yeah, it's not anything that you guys would have recognized or traveled to.
Okay.
Okay. And we're
'Cause
obviously
I don't think
not...
any one of you have never been to Solar System 8. Otherwise, yeah,
Right.
this is the first time in this solar system.
So Alexia is part of Solar System 8.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Alexia is
We know
a
that.
planet
Okay.
inside of Solar System 8.
Okay. Good to know. Hey, Carrot, I could lift you up and you could take a peek out the top hatch. What do you say?
The name is Lord Carrington, Switch. And
There's
yes,
no
I agree.
hierarchy here, but I'll play Lord Carrington. Does that work?
Well, yes.
Okay.
It's not a hierarchy, it's just a title. I don't lord over the rest of you. But yes, I agree to this action. Carry on.
Do you have a more
All right.
familiar first name, perhaps, that may be appropriate?
Maxwell. I haven't been called my first name in a long while. So I'm honestly kind of strange. But if you prefer that instead of Lord Carrington, I will allow it.
Well, Maxwell's a handsome name where I come from.
On my planet, Maxwell is just, well, Maxwell.
So Switch will take the Lord and hold the Lord over their shoulder to... Can you get that hatch open, Maxwell?
This
Or
hatch?
do you need help? Does a 20-gram carrot need help getting the hatch open?
Can I roll to see if I can get the hatch open on my own?
Yes, I think that would be great.
Well, certainly Hal would have the capability to... Wouldn't we be able to tell it to open the top hatch?
I don't trust that demon.
It's not a demon.
Says the talking carrot.
It's landed us in a
Talking
pile
ship,
of
talking
mud.
carrot. Which one is the true demon?
I mean, yeah.
So it would have to be a strength. You're small, so the challenge would
help?
be difficult. I don't know if you could. I mean, you're lifting him up there.
Yeah.
But if you, as you're reefing on it there, you're trying to get the hatch. It's made to open. So, but you are a carrot. So the challenge rating I'm going to say is a little bit higher on this one. But yes, do a strength check. That would be on you I think it's a D8, right?
Yeah.
So roll a D8 and a D6 at the same time.
D8, D6. Wow. 12 altogether. Rolled an 8 on the D8.
Okay, then you take the D8, you keep the 8, and you get to roll it again. Roll the 8 again.
Nice. 6 this time.
Okay, so you rolled a 14. So, and I did have a challenge rating on that one of high on Savage on in this system of Savage Worlds. The challenge rating is either a 4 or sometimes an 8. And I was thinking, strength check for a carrot on a hatch door on a ship, that's going to be hard. But you did do it, and you surpassed it, by 4. So how would you like to open up this? How stylish or amazingly would you like to open up this hatch door, Lord Carrington?
You had to preempt it with that.
How would a carrot open a hatch door?
I'm only holding you up for so long.
Well, I can't very well lift it with my reaches with my arms, so I take my lance and try to pry it open. Switch. Move a little bit to the left, if you could. I need a bit of leverage.
You just had a lance on you,
Moves to the left.
A knight always carries his lance.
on my shoulder.
Well, yes. I hope you didn't mind.
Just
What?
be careful looking to the left.
Yeah, right.
With a bit of leverage, Lord Carrington pops the hatch up
I mean, and
like a
it
can.
freakishly, this carrot with a lance finds purchase in the exact spot that needed all the leverage. Pop, and the hatch door flips wide open. There's sun coming down. It's bright because you're inside of a ship. It's very bright coming down right into your face as you're looking up.
There. That wasn't too difficult.
Well done, Maxwell. Well done.
Can you continue to prove your worth, sir?
Was my worth ever in question?
Yeah. What do you
Perhaps
see?
just in certain feats of strength.
I'm not too sure.
And then blows us out of the water. What do you see, my man?
If I must prove my worth continuously. All right. What does Lord Carrington see?
You see, you see the swamplands that you're right dead set. And once you look up, you see the whole ship submerged almost to the top in muck and mud. But off in the distance, you see land, and you see further down, you see some hills and some prairies and very nice vegetated lands and trees. But off in the distance, you do see more of an industrial area. So you start to see maybe some pipes, that are building things, and tall skyscrapers. And that's what consumes pretty much all the background. It seems like you're in the most vegetated place in the area.
Well, perhaps if we decide that we want to go find the city, then we should equip ourselves appropriately.
All those tall metal structures over there, that's a city?
Yes, those are large artificial buildings, presumably where they all live and work.
Huh. It's no city I've ever seen before. What a strange world. But are we going to it? I would love to get out of this mud pit.
And you're
It
finding,
appears to be our only option.
yeah, well, and T4 is finding through the system through Hal's scanning, because Hal's still scanning, and every once in a while you'll still hear him. But what you're finding is some sort of large, in the center of this city, a very large amount of an electronic, and not a pulsing matter, but it's really strong, and it seems to be resonating from the center, plus it's resonating up, so it's resonating everywhere, and it is going outside of the planet's atmosphere. but that is where a lot of the energy is coming from, a very pinpointed place in the center of this city.
Strong energy signature there. Cool. T4 we'll share that with everyone. City center's got a strong electrical signal. Someone maybe pull this in.
Yeah, and go ahead and can you roll let's just say a hack for me?
So that'd be smarts and hack, or just smarts, or just hack?
Just hack. Because that's a D6. Are you a D6 in hack?
I believe I'm a D6 in hack.
Yeah, so roll 2 D6s.
2 D6s, okay. Ooh, double. Do you do that on any die that rolls the max number?
Yep.
Nice?
If you roll the max, you roll it again.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Sorry, doing mental math. 21.
Good God, man. Okay, so without even, since you were plugged in and you were writing code and having a digital conversation with Hal this whole time, even when the power flickered and it ended up there, you know for sure that the signatures, the electronic signature from that, wherever it's coming from that source, was exactly what created the flicker on your ship and put it where it's at.
Gotcha.
You know that for sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
And as if you guys are gearing up to head out to the town, and it was named Strand. Did say Strand.
Strand. Mm-hmm.
Hal could scan and find out that the name is Strand. Are you guys headed out that direction?
Yep.
Okay. As you're headed out that direction, we're gonna go ahead and take our 5-minute on the hour break.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, so you're heading out toward. We're gonna do this as you guys are heading out there. You're gonna get muddy to get out, but it's a nice area. I mean, realistically. So we will be back in about 5
So you
minutes.
say.
It looks very nice. Let's look at it that way.
Sure.
It's very pretty.
It's all right.
All
I'm
the planets we
accustomed to
crashed
it.
on
But
today.
all the bad things always look pretty. We know this. No, all right. We'll see everybody out there in like 5 minutes.
See you in 5.
All right, we're back. All right.
Hey.
So, yes, you guys are in the muck, in a sense, headed towards Strand, the only scanned city that in the area that Hal has found for you.
Before
Yeah, go ahead.
we leave, actually, does Hal have any information on or any information that he can maybe download or that he can transfer to T4 Cole or Switch as far as like what these people look like, any sort of cultural information, so we don't kind of walk into their.
Not much cultural information, but you are, yes, the information that he can either Switch or T4 could pull up and show you almost like in a hologram. You know, they could project that for you. That the planet has Halexians, but the Halexians are like a let me look it up here. Have this all situated. At least I did. Yeah, it's inside here. Yeah, there it is. So a Halexian, it's a bipedal, like snail-like people, almost like a snail, without the home in a sense, like more of a slug, but has 2 feet and can walk. So slimy, and they're between 4 and 5 feet tall, and they can weigh up to full growth. So they can be up about 200 pounds. So think about a 200-pound slug with 2 feet. That's
And it walks on the feet, or does
Yes.
it just sort of like skate?
It can do both. Because it's more of a industrial. It's a city now, but it would be a creature that's come out of the muck and the kind of stuff that you guys are currently in, right? Like off of the, but now lives in cities and has grown into a life-sized, much bigger than the carrot. So it looks like the carrot's the only being that didn't get to be human size.
Perhaps a new steed for you.
Would
But yeah, they're an
Caution
intelligent
against it.
creature. They're advanced enough to have all this technology and travel, interplanetary travel.
Besides, snails on my planet are more luxury pets than steeds.
Why does that
Well,
not
let's-
surprise me?
Maybe when engaging with these people, you keep that part to yourself.
Oh, of course. As long as they don't eat any carrots in my vicinity.
All right, shall we away?
Aye. Come, Sydney.
So Sydney's
course
on your
there's not
shoulder
much
also, Brucon, because that's the only way to get across this muck.
Bloop.
Yeah, is to find some purchase, and maybe some trees that have fallen over, so you're not sinking all the way down. But you guys get through it. It's not super easy, but it takes a little while. You're definitely muddy at this point, up to probably mid waist of all of you. Carrington's quite clean because he's on your shoulder, Brucon. And you make it to the outskirts of the city. It's kind of like traveling into. There's not a lot of vehicle traffic, but there's definitely traffic. The vehicles are not used as much around because not many. They don't really go very far. In a sense, they kind of find their own place to do stuff inside there. But you walk in. You're walking into the outskirts of this city where you feel, and it's not a huge city, but it's definitely got a couple skyscrapers, an industrial area, and you can kind of all see it through the skyline because at this point it's pretty flat as you head towards the middle of town, probably because your T4 is getting that signal from the center of town.
Now, is it fairly dense? Like I'd imagine slugs don't. That urban sprawl is probably not something they would go for. That's a
Right.
very high density living.
Yeah, once you get in there, you're in. It's almost like you hit it's like a wall of buildings all of a sudden, and they're very close together because there's not a lot of, like I said, people don't really travel out of this area.
Are we getting much looks?
All the looks, but they've done interplanetary travel. Not anything but these snail-like, slug-like creatures, the Halexians. You see nothing but Halexians at this time. That's all you see. But they're not staring like it's totally out of the norm to see something that's not from their planet, because they also travel. But you can see the taller buildings towards the center of town, where the signal from T4 Cole found.
Switch will take off their fishing waders that safely got them through the mud without getting dirty. And to T4 say, what was that private conversation with Hal about? Anything you want to share with us?
Did Hal give me anything further
Yes.
in that private conversation?
The conversation, of course, Hal keeps saying scanning.
Well, yeah. Besides,
Scanning.
every about
He says that all the
45
time.
seconds.
Find the center building. That is where this pulse seems to be coming from.
Cool.
There
Center
is
building.
and scanning. research, scanning, local investigations have. They've inquired the mayor. Speak with Tagoth. He's the mayor.
Tag off the mayor. Copy. Okay. Local
Hal is
investigation.
scanning.
Hal, can you scan quieter?
Hal scanning quieter. Hal scanning quieter.
Silence, demon.
Do you scan to yourself, please?
How T4 will share the find I believe it's tag
Tag
right?
off. Yeah.
Tag
Tag-
off.
All right. Tag off the mayor of
And he's uploading, Hal uploaded kind of these, it's almost like newspaper articles and those kind of things. That's where all of his information is coming from. It's not coming from some weird database. It's just
Gotcha.
the whole communication
internet-
system.
local
He's just,
internet.
yeah, he's just reading, he's doing a search
Okay, gotcha.
within their system. That's it.
Gotcha. Okay. He will send the data over to Switch, basically like the 2-line read of the mayor, and that we should probably find him. We'll also convey it to both Brucon and Lord Carrington. You know, Hal suggests we find the mayor, and I think it's probably a good place to start in discovering what the heck this energy pulse is. Or signature.
Do the halos allow us to speak with them or just with each other?
I believe we could probably translate what they're saying to us, but we would not be able to speak back to them because
Right.
they don't have ability to translate. So we would be able to understand them. Out of curiosity, this may be a check I have to roll. Would I see anybody that would potentially know sign language?
I don't know if you could sense that somebody could, but you could be asking.
I was gonna say more like seeing somebody else do it rather than sensing.
Oh,
yeah, that's more what I meant by that perception.
Not at
check
this
was-
point. Not when you came
Okay.
through here. There's not much. I mean, because it's not prevalent in their race. And for them to
that's-
have that kind of hearing, it's different kinds of senses. So even if they couldn't speak, they have other ways of communicating.
That's fair. Yeah.
Do they have a written language that we can?
There's
maybe
definitely
make
a
use-
written language. I mean, T4 would know this because of the information that Hal is feeding to T4. It's a translation of the language is coming through T4. So Hal can definitely translate the language. So whether you guys want to do, I would say the two droids, could maybe do a hacking skill with Hal. To maybe get that kind of software and understand the language, since it's all digital to you guys anyways.
Okay.
I'd say a hacking would make sense.
Will we try?
Yeah, go ahead and do a hacking, and you're basically not really hacking, but it's trying to understand how Hal is taking their written language and putting it to yours. It's not really a direct translation, it's just how he's getting it to happen.
How Hal's using code to make that happen.
Maybe you can learn Kung Fu while you're at it.
I know Kung Fu.
For me.
Mommy. I got a 4.
That's just enough.
I got
Just
6.
enough.
You got a 6, so just now. I mean, the challenge is a 4.
Listen,
Because it wouldn't be that
show-off.
difficult. So you get an upload.
two
Yeah,
D6s,
kind of like
I'm
learning,
sorry.
learning Kung Fu. But it is, you are hooked up, and it's like you got a decoder ring of the two codes and how to decode the two to put them together.
Now you're speaking my language.
So yeah, so now you can not understand anything but the language, the written language. So satire and those kind of things. You're just that's a cultural thing, and you're not gonna understand that at all.
No. Yeah.
But you'll know words as spoken. Kind of like rules as written.
That'll have to be something that you do Switch, because T4 is technically not a character that can speak. outside of beeps and boops.
Yeah. So I mean, it would be Switch would probably be your best translator at this point for Carrington and Brucon.
Copy that. Translating. Do I hear any chatter from where I am at this point? Or are we just getting stares as we move ahead?
You're getting a little bit of stares. It's like I said, it's not too much. It's like you'll hear stuff like "haven't seen that before." It's like, huh, those kind of like different.
Is that a carrot riding on that guy's shoulder?
I don't think
No,
they would even know. I mean, honestly,
They weren't that specific.
it would look more like a strange attire for the cat for Brucon. It would be almost like just a strange attire, like part of his outfit.
Just a set piece.
Yeah, because you're like, it's just different. It's like
The
okay.
weirdest epaulets ever.
Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, maybe he's a pirate. Don't know. So as you find it, and you do find that center building, and it is the center building is not where the mayor resides. The mayor resides like one block over, but it's pretty easy to find those areas without even asking, because it's not, like I said, it's like Brucon was saying, or Jim was saying, about everything's very close together. So finding the government buildings is pretty easy because it's all in the center of downtown, basically.
Are there like signs like, City Hall this way?
In a sense, they're signs, and Switch would be the one that would be directing you in that direction, because to you it would just look like slimy, some
With
strange
signs that
writing that's very.
Support could also help.
It's very swirly, this language. The written part of it's very swirly. Like it almost looks like just loops and down and around, and yeah, it's very strange.
I learned cursive.
It's kind of like, well, I'm trying to think of it as a slug trail. So it resembles a slug trail that maybe in the real world, outside a game, you would see on your sidewalk. Like it has a destination, then just starts moving in different. Yeah.
Switch immediately regrets taking off their waders. So this is an official building we're going towards. Okay. So we know which building it is? Are there guards?
Oh, there's no guards there.
No. We can walk right in?
It's kind of like there's a mayor's, like the office building for the mayor, and then this kind of tower in the middle where you see the pulse coming from is like the first building. Mm-hmm. When you go down to like the historical district and they have all those beautiful buildings. This is a very beautiful but old. The technology's old. The structure's old. Older than anything around it.
I thought T4 needed updating. Just kidding.
Not the only one.
Much love.
He's like beep beep burp.
Purposely does not translate just a single beep at you.
Bad beep.
I don't know. It looks quite modern to my senses.
Mm-hmm.
Our
I don't know, it
definitions
looks-
of modern are pretty.
Everything is very modern to you.
It looks
Carrington.
a little too official to me. I have done questionable things. I don't want to go first.
So do you want to? Are you guys deciding whether to go into that tall building or to the mayor?
Well, if we were told that's where, Tagoth, you said the mayor is a building that's not in the city hall. He's in a building off to the
yeah,
side.
just one road over.
Well, I assume as a group we'd want to go to that directly to Tagoth as instructed. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that's what else that we should do. So let's make our way there.
Switch steps behind Brucon and kind of shoves him ahead and said, "You go first." I'm not sure if my reputation is on this planet, has reached this planet.
Well, Brucon and Lord Carrington, I think, having that sort of aristocratic air about them.
Yeah, so
That would
Aristocrat.
probably be
There you go.
We have the gilded tongues, so
Yeah, some could say I'm a golden carrot.
Here
But
we go.
anyways, let us go, Bruton.
okay.
So it's pretty easy to walk right into the mayor's building. There is a receptionist sitting at the front. The slimy, not really sitting down, just kind of squatting. They don't really need chairs because it's more of just like, and they have their own chair kind of built in through their body. But looks up and goes, yes, that's new. You're checking in with the mayor because new here. Never been here, I don't think. I think I would have recognized somebody with a strange... What is that? She looks directly at your
Clearly
shoulder.
a female.
It's
Don't- I'm
you
the
probably
only one
couldn't
that can
tell.
hear, right?
Yeah,
I'm the only one that understands it.
Well,
But that's-
I understand. I just can't.
yeah, you're hearing
Yeah,
all that,
yeah.
and Brucon's hearing.
I find you quite charming. Bruce.
But Switch, you can understand that. I was like, but what? What is that, anyways? And you could tell the two eyes or antennas kind of go in and look directly at what's on your shoulder.
It is impolite to stare, madam.
I'm not going to repeat that.
But are you translating for them at all, or?
Yeah, I'll turn to Switch, say, little help.
Well, they're just curious about the Lord.
So they're highly religious, I see.
So they found this pamphlet. And no.
I've just decided I'm going to call you something different every time.
But as soon as Brucon speaks, you said something there saying, "Hey, Switch, could you translate?" That's when she looks up and goes, and puts a speaker out, adjusts it, and you hear it going through a bunch of different languages. And next thing you know is it kind of calms down and hones in your language. You could still hear her making those noises, but the language you understand comes out of that speaker.
That's the one.
And there's that is the one. You'll hear, but you hear that is the one. Yeah. Yes. No, I was inquiring. You need to check in with the mayor. Everybody does, especially if they're out of town. I think you're more out of this planet. Yeah.
Yeah,
You are correct. You were brought here to speak with the mayor.
Yeah. This has been happening more and more lately. Is your ship okay?
It's in a pile of mud.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's
yeah.
intact.
That can happen. We've tried to at least guide places to where you wouldn't destroy the ship. But yeah, it's getting a little crazy lately. But yeah, the mayor's right up the stairs if you want to talk to him. He's never really doing anything important. So go on up. And there's no real. All the steps are very shallow because these feet, they don't have very long feet. So the steps are very shallow. It's almost like a little tiny steps all the way up. They're very deep steps, but not very high. And yeah, right up those stairs there. He's up there doing nothing, I'm sure.
Why would you say he's doing nothing? Is he not the leader
he's a
of
mayor.
the city?
He's a mayor. Mayors don't do anything.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, hopefully have fun with your lord.
Oh, we do.
Yes. And you're the lord, the speaking vegetable, correct?
That's him.
That's your guys' lord, huh? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Salutations.
Hey,
I'm Lord Carrington.
to
of
each their
House
own.
Starch.
Yeah, Lord Starch. That one doesn't translate well. I just starch. Don't know what that starch. I don't know what that is. Yeah, just get upstairs. I'm busy doing nothing myself.
Rather obtuse these people are.
They're
We'll head up
very
the steps.
informal, aren't they?
I wonder what's happened to make them this way. Such apathy.
Well, they are snails.
You come from slugs and things.
Yes, that does make sense. But even for snails, this is a bit too slow. We'll find more at the mayor. Telio, Brucon.
Don't do that.
He doesn't respond kindly to being a steed, I don't think.
Your aphid will have an accident.
Aphid, meet my finger. So you head up to the mayor, and yes, Tagoth. The difference is the mayor does have a little bit more of an amphibious face, more maybe like a frog type face, not completely, but has just a little bit more of a defined structure than anything you've seen thus far. But he's up there, and he's already gotten the adapter, and he's setting it up, going through the scroll. He knows you're in there because the technology's there. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's a lot lower of a grumble, but it comes off as translation. Yeah, new to the planet, huh? New to the planet. New?
Yes.
New?
Yes, are you
Yes.
Mayor
New.
Tagoth?
New?
Yes.
I am new to everything, Sir Mayor.
Oh. There's something talking on your shoulder, sir.
Yes,
Is that your
Mr. Mayor.
translator?
He is one of our group.
Oh.
We were all together in a ship that crashed into your swamp.
Oh, yeah, that. That's been happening more often these days. It used to crash into the buildings right here, because that whatever's going on over there. But we've been trying to guide you guys to some safe ground. Hopefully our receptionist told you about this. Sorry about that. You probably want that taken out of the swamp.
That'd be helpful.
All right, I'll get some people on it. It might take a day or two, but and at that moment when he's talking, you see the kind of the power flicker in all the city again, just that kind of that brown out, and comes back. And T4, you can definitely tell us, yep, that pulse just came from the tower next door again. He goes, oh, yep. Yeah, it's good. I think it's getting a little more frequent. Used to only happen like once or twice a year, but yeah, now it's happening like a couple times a day. So sorry you got caught in that.
Any idea why?
Oh, no. We usually don't worry about it, but I guess it's a little bit worse. The building's fine, but we have some sort of energy source that powers up most of our buildings. It's an ancient power source that's deep down in the ground underneath that tower next door, so that we just use it to, power our city and build stuff, and create better technology. We've never created a carrot like that, though.
Oh, you can refer to him as the Lord.
The Lord. This is your Lord.
Yeah.
Please don't.
You guys worship a carrot.
I am not
Not that
worshipped.
kind of
That is merely a title.
Oh, Lord.
It's just what he prefers to be called.
Okay.
Yes.
It doesn't concern you at all that these power surges continue to happen at a more frequent rate?
Of course it does, but what am I going to do about it?
Investigate it, perhaps?
Oh,
You're
that's-
mayor of the city, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what they say. They gave me this nice office, so I guess that works. It must be
How did you become mayor?
my dashingly good looks.
I will not comment on that. Yes, you look very good for one of your species, my friend.
Yeah, I know. Could you imagine?
Anyway, so this technology that is producing this electric pulse, It's not your technology.
Oh,
It was
no,
here
it's-
before you.
No, this is where we get all of our power and all of our source of communications. And I mean, how else would you get how else would you get somebody that comes from snails, slugs, frogs to be this intelligent? And I mean, we can't do this all on our own. It was just there, so we used it. City's working great.
You don't seem to have a lot of. You don't seem to have a lot of faith in your own species.
Oh, no. Even through all this technology, it's kind of shows us how dumb we really are. So we just use what we can get, and it was already here. We just didn't know it.
That's no way to sell yourselves. Obviously, you could be, capable of great things yourselves if you
We
just
are. Look
put
at this
your
city.
minds to it.
Look at this city.
Yes, so maybe you could put some more effort into understanding this power source, so you could build an even greater city.
See, I never connected those two things. Huh. It's probably why we have an open door policy for people from other planets. They can help us out. They're usually smarter than us. Especially
And
those
honestly-
metal ones. Right? You got an arm, your arm's showing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the metal ones. The metal ones they're very, very smart.
I'm an android, not a dictionary.
Oh. Dictionary. We should probably start one of those here.
You seem to be very comfortable and low expectations, so
Hey.
perhaps it's good we arrived by accident.
Yeah, just make sure we'll get it out of the swamp. We have quite a bit of technology to get that out of there within the next day or two. We'll get it nice and cleaned up for you. But the problem you're running into is we'll make sure when your ship takes off that the pulse isn't going at that moment, because we probably can't guide you into the swamp 2 times in a row.
Could you point out where this anomaly is happening?
Oh, it's beneath that tower. It's down in the caverns beneath.
Do you mind if we check it out?
It's open to the public. People don't go in there, but yeah, it's been around forever.
Why? Is there anything dangerous down there?
I don't know. We don't go in there. Just if it works, it works. It's not broke. Don't fix it.
So wait, it's not working and no one's checked it out? Okay, we should go.
It's working just fine. Look at the city. The city's doing great.
You've had several different incidents involving your buildings, sir.
Yeah, we're still surviving though.
You are not fine.
Oh, we're fine.
I am honestly surprised your people haven't been conquered by now.
Anyway, so you said that there were others that have been brought here like us.
Yeah, they come through and
What happens to them?
they find us very boring. Most of the time, we get them to leave unless their ship crashed. Like first couple hundred times it happened, we had to just build them another ship because we didn't guide them into the swamp. So we thought, hey, let's just throw them in the swamp. It doesn't wreck their ship. It's a win-win, right?
So these ships get brought here by this pulse, and they don't do, and the people on these ships don't do anything. They just get back on their ship and then leave.
Well, sometimes the ship is it doesn't survive. Sometimes we've had more survivors over the last 100 years. It's fine. We've been more survivors, and we rebuild ships, and we put them in the swamp. It's pretty standard procedure around here. Standard procedure. Pulse goes off.
Got it.
If a ship enters your atmosphere, put them in the swamp. Less harm.
Are any of those other people here
Oh,
still
no.
right now?
No, nobody ever wants to stay here.
Okay.
For good reason, I see.
Hey, yeah, probably. I was gonna pretend to be offended. Not really. So, with that information, I don't know if you guys want to take off and go check out that tower, or It's up to you guys. I'll just get back in it. It's up to you guys what you want to do. You can hang out as long as you want. Give us about a couple cycles of the sun, and we'll have that ship pulled out for you.
I'm not confident in his ability to be helpful. Switch out of character is in fix-it mode now and just wants to see what the hell is going on.
Yes, I'm with them.
Come, my lord.
Well, it's just... You know what? Fine. I am Lord Carrington. And you will address me as my lord if you see fit. It's better to go along with it, as I've learned from the slugs.
So, a quick question. So, is there any sense of deception coming from him?
If you're feeling like maybe he's trying to mess with you, see if he can get a read. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Let's do a roll on that then.
Would that be notice?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see what else goes on here. Yeah, let's just do I think that would work. Because language is not going to work because there's a big language barrier. Mm-hmm. But I think you're high. You've dealt with a lot of species. I feel like Brugon's kind of has a good read on whatever species they are. You know.
Yeah.
That's kind of your MO. So yeah, roll a notice, and your notice is a D8, right?
The D8.
Yeah. So a D8 and a D6. Roll those two.
Got a 3 and a 1.
Okay, so it's almost like he's too dumb to deceive you. That's your read. It's more like he doesn't have enough wits to be funny, let alone cunning. You find it because he's almost trying to make jokes, and they're not really jokes, and they don't make a lot of sense. Because not just because of the language barriers, because it's kind of like your technology surpassed. This is the information you're getting. Like the technology surpassed their own intellect. That's the read that you're getting.
Are there any other life forms on this planet, Mr. Mayor?
Life forms. There's us.
Like you, like
plants,
intelligent, with
trees.
language.
Oh. That communicate. Not a lot. If they stayed here. We started off with a lot of bugs. A lot of slugs. Nothing too big. If it's slimy or has an exoskeleton, it's very small. Usually it hung around. I mean, we got to eat.
Sydney, stay close to me.
Right.
We got plants, trees.
This guy is.
Well, you appear to be a very busy man, so
Yeah,
we will be on our way. Go
my
check out that
campaign
tower.
was amazing.
What was your slogan? We do nothing and still accomplish nothing.
I was close. It was enough is enough, and I've already done enough. Right? Right? Complacency. That's our slogan.
This guy is boring the pip out of me.
Yeah,
Can
there's
we get out of here?
there's
feel-
next to no personality in this. He's too
I
dumb.
feel dumber for just having met this person.
Be like,
I
"Vote
would
for
be,
me."
if I were capable of
Or not.
sleeping, I would be asleep.
Well, then, so you gonna hang out for a couple days, or you want to hang out here?
No.
I hear ping pong's fun. I've heard about it. Maybe we should try one of those.
That's the most exciting idea you've had all day, I believe.
I think the dexterity requirements may surpass your abilities, Mr. Mayor. But thank you for the idea.
It's okay. It's okay. You're absolutely right. Just looks fun. Sounds like it'd be cool.
Well, let us investigate that tower. Sir, this conversation has been boring. You are boring, and your whole planet is boring. Good day.
Why, thank you very much.
That's my lord. Learning something from me. Be curt and direct. Let's go.
That was almost. I mean, and you can definitely read that what you just said, Carrington, was like a compliment
He's just vapid.
to this guy. Tag out. He was like, "Thank you, We try."
So keeping your head down is a virtue. Sounds like.
I think we have a flag being printed with that exact verbiage on it. Due to be up next week.
Wow. That sounds ambitious. Good
No,
luck.
whoa. I don't want those kind of words in my office. Thank you. Ambitious.
Well, it just seemed like actually printing a flag was, you're betting off a lot there.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
Probably will never happen. We just talk about stuff. City pretty much built itself.
This is government.
Why are we still talking to this person?
Yeah, just leave.
So,
Can we please go?
yes. And everybody leaves. They're like,
Thank
we're
you.
out.
Right, meow.
And are you guys headed to just headed to tower? Oh God!
Oh my god.
Is that the third one tonight? Today?
Yeah.
The third
That's
zinger of the episode. Yeah, it's basically one block away, which would be like a half a block to anybody else. To any humanoid creature. For Carrington, it'd be quite a jaunt.
Switch is running. Switch is dead run. Dead run.
And as you guys
They have
arrive
enough.
one by one or as a group, it really is a tower with, but it has 4 bases that get into the ground here, and goes kind of directly. It's built out of like old stone, and comes up to the top. It's quite tall, and then underneath those 4 posts, underneath in the middle, is like a stairway that kind of goes down. But as it goes down just a little bit, it just kind of gets dark, and there's nobody there. People will walk through it kind of like it's a park, in a sense, and just walk through like it's just always been there. When they're not really walking, they're sliding through, kind of walking.
Well, this explains everything. We should enter.
Should we just start walking?
Let's go.
Doesn't seem like anybody's gonna stop us.
Please, I want to
yet.
do something after that conversation.
My lord. You don't need to do anything.
Yes, I do. I never want to be like a slug.
It's hitting a little close to home, isn't it?
If that's what counts as nobility on this planet, then nobility should be abolished.
Oh, that's not nobility. Mayors are not noble. They're just positions of power. They're not the same thing anymore in modern society.
Well, I see society has regressed then, if that's what it leads to.
Yes and no.
Well, usually mayors are picked, not just born. He may have been both.
Well, what do we see when we go in?
If you're going down the stair, as you go down there, it's like you guys probably have, especially the U2, T4, and Switch have something to illuminate. In a sense, that would be silly if you didn't. So you have something to illuminate to go there. And it's easy to see. As you go down there, it doesn't go down too far, but after a while, you just kind of see like more of that muck. The same kind of colorish kind of muck that your ship is kind of sitting in. It's just mud, like swamp mud. As you go down, you've only got gone down maybe 30 feet down, and because the stairway kind of goes in a circle around the side. And as you go down there, and it starts to get dark because of science, and as you go down there, with the illuminating, you start to see the muck down there, and no footprints really are down there. Nobody really goes down there. They don't care. It just exists. So you go down to like this strange pool of mud.
And the stairway just sort of ends in the floor of mud.
The stairway will go into the mud. It doesn't just stop like it's a pool. Like, it would go down further if there wasn't mud there. You could walk down further. You see the steps kind of go in to the mud. And you also notice that these steps are not like the ones that were in the mayor's office. They are standard steps.
Normal leg stairs.
Yeah, like they didn't build this. That's the one structure you can tell it definitely was not built by them.
Well, no wonder they don't know how to use it. They didn't build it.
Oh yeah, I think that was clear.
Evident.
But yeah.
Well,
I don't think they built anything.
we make our way down further. That
So
probably-
there's no doors or windows or anything along this staircase down? Or
No, it's like a hole in the planet that just kind of starts to go down.
And it's just filled with mud.
So what exactly are we looking for here? I know it's an energy source, but where is it?
Probably further down, is my guess.
Switch will don the fishing waders again to trudge through.
Oh, around good.
And is anybody going down just further in the steps into the mud to see you?
That's why I'm donning my fishing.
Are you the
my
first
fishing
one in
waders.
there? Switch?
Sure.
I think
Uh,
T4 will probably be
Close behind, yeah.
Yeah.
So as you guys are putting on waders, and then Switch is handing them out after she puts they put theirs on and hands it to you guys, and then you guys go one down one. Switch and T4 Cole are kind of first in line. You find out that it's definitely a different feeling than the mud that was your ship was submerged in. It's a lot darker, a lot thicker. And it does seem to, like, when you step into it, it does seem to kind of hold on to your legs a little bit more. It doesn't, when you first get in there, it doesn't. But as soon as you step in it kind of feel like a stiffness to it, and it's like trying to hold you in the spot. It's not holding you. You're not stuck, but it's like some sort of, it's moving a little bit and kind of grabbing onto you. And you hear very ominous sound. Is like, I'm so bored. Thank God you guys are here. So bored.
Who?
Are we all hearing this?
Yeah, it's
is
in
it
it's in a language. I mean, you can definitely
A
understand. it.
common tongue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whatever your common tongue is, you hear it in that tongue.
Okay.
So
I'm
hearing
bored.
What is this thing speaking? Some kind of fruit demon?
Fruit. Oh, you're speaking to me. Hello, I am the mucky muck. I am protector of the ancient, keeper of the artifact. You guys want to play?
Play what?
Oh, we play Find the Artifact.
Is your name really Mucky Muck?
Mucky Muck. Actually, I don't really have a name, but
I'm gonna call you Mr. Board.
Mr. Bored. I'm not bored now. You guys are here.
Well, what are you doing exactly?
I've been waiting to play the game. Find the Artifact.
What artifact?
Oh, the one that's deep down underneath here. I'm the
What does it do?
protector of it. You guys want to play?
How do
said
we
dark.
play this game?
Oh,
Muck
easy.
Monster?
You try and get the artifact, and I kill all of you.
That's
That's
not a
horrible.
And
That's
I think that's where
horrible.
we're going to go ahead and end today's session.
I'm like, Switch grabs their shotgun.
So we are going to end the session on that. You got introduced to the Mucky Muck, who's protector of the ancient keeper of the artifact.
Great.
But yeah, we'll start off next week on that note.
Sentient mud.
slug people
Basically.
bored him so much he grew crazy.
Just wants a friend and to consume. No, so we'll have fun with that next week. Thank you guys. We're going to go ahead and sign off on the broadcasting, but find out next week what happens with the Mucky Muck. And yeah, this episode was actually titled In the Mucky Muck. So I'm glad that you guys don't look at that to see the spoilers. No, there's no spoiler. Mucky Muck. I get influenced by many different things. Tenacious D is one of them.
Nice.
If anybody doesn't know about the Mucky Muck, ask Wonder Boy.
I've never actually watched Tenacious D in my life.
It's Wonder
I
Boy.
really should.
High above the Mucky Muck. It's the only reason I called it Mucky Muck. All right, guys.
Is this the real Mucky Muck or just a tribute?
It's a shiny. Well, we did get called a demon, so Hal could be the shiny demon. So could all coincide. We could make a musical. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see everybody again next week. Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching. Make sure and check us out if you're behind on this stuff. And as we sign off, we always encourage everybody in between episodes to do something with each other, hang out with each other, play games, pull up a chair, and make time to tabletop.
To tabletop.
Do that, guys. We will see you very soon.
Please do something. The slug people are boring.